Hey everyone, welcome to Life in Full Send, Athletes Reimagined, the podcast where we discuss the experience of redefining life after being an athlete. I'm your host, Liz Hall, an athlete integration specialist and your teammate in navigating that big question, what comes after sports? Each week, I sit down with former athletes who have faced that very question and they share how they navigated their transition. Quickly, be sure to subscribe and share the pod so you can catch all the stories. This week is the final episode of the inaugural season of Life in Full Send. What an incredible journey. Today's episode features former NBA player Bobby Simmons, who began his professional career playing alongside Michael Jordan. No big deal, right? Also a feature in one of my favorite basketball movies, Just Right. We chat about his journey and his contributions today. Long after his sports career has ended, his legacy will continue. Let's get into it.
One thing I enjoy the most is talking to the parents about the process. The process is not going to be easy. So don't get overwhelmed because it's a part of the process. And so just be prepared for the transitioning of all the coaches and everybody telling you what you want to hear and what they can do for you. But now I say, hey, when my son is done playing, what are you going to do for him? What can you help him do after he's done with his career? Are you going to help him prepare for life after the game? Like, they probably don't want to have that conversation because they're recruiting the next player after he's gone. And that's the hardest part of all the transitioning, because now just think about it. If you played 10, 12 years, how much money have this agent made off you? And now you can't call him and get no help? That's crazy.
It's crazy. I remember when I was, I think, a junior at Michigan State, I told Tom Izzo, the basketball coach, that I wanted to be a sports agent. You know what he said to me? I'm sorry to hear that.
I wonder why he said that.
It just clicked now.
Yeah,
because I do believe that. First off, I know that he cares about his players, but when you just said that, is that conversation just dropped in, and I do believe it's because of that. Because the agents would say, "What can you do for me?" Not "How can I help you?"
Well, that's what they say in the back of their mind. They're not going to tell the player that.
They're not going to say, "No, of course not."
Of course not. But yeah.
Of course not. But that is, that is it. Because if I meet an agent that doesn't pick up a call from a retired player, that says a lot about the agent.
It happens all the time.
The guy that retired from the MLB has 3 championship rings. No calls. Not even a check on him. For me, I'm a mama bear. So I'm like, hey, he made you a lot of money, but even if he made you 0 money, why don't you just check on him?
Exactly.
If he lost you money, be a human being and check on him.
Because you know what, and this is why I love being a career counselor. I was able to talk to all players whenever I can go to the games and I can see them, check on them. When your birthday, how's your kids? Have that personal relationship with them. And then you be like, hey, what else you want to do? Are you interested in real estate? Are you interested in tech? Are you interested in sportscasting? Like, it's a host of things for them to try to figure out what they were interested in. But the best part about it, some of them be very creative. I think I want to do cooking. I think I want to do acting. I think I want to do engineering or architect. You know what I mean? There's so many opportunities out there to where I can help them with mentors and things like that, so that it'll be easy. Like, you have somebody to lean on to help you through the process.
But we must be brave enough to say we need help. And that's where I think a lot of people cut themselves off from those opportunities, is because they're too proud, and pride comes before the fall. If we're too proud to ask for help, we need help because we're human. We're not meant to do it alone.
Most definitely. But then again, you got to think about it. These guys are basketball players, and they're focused on that one thing. They don't never want to transition or pivot to the next thing. Not right now, because this is all my eggs is one basket. You might get injured. You might not be able to perform at the same level as you are. And then you transition out. Because every year there's 60 guys coming in. If you like it or not, 60 plus guys.
There will be a day that it ends.
Correct.
I pray it's not from injury. And nothing's guaranteed. But But what is for certain is there will be a last day. And why not think about what else lives in you? And I believe this. I believe when we learn more about ourselves and we expand to say this, I like this, and I have this capability and I can tune in here. That builds you as a player anyways. To be more expansive as a human will make you better in each domain.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. I agree.
I
totally
think
agree.
it's opening up younger. I know the coaches are going to say, nope, I want you to eat, sleep, breathe, be obsessed. I get it. And I get being so committed. And it's not exclusive of learning more about yourself along the way. It does not need to exclude that.
Coaches normally only have between 4 and 6 hours of your time a day. If that's weights, if it's on the court practice, maybe 2 hours, and it's after watching film, et cetera, 6 hours. So you got a host of other time that you can figure out what you want to do throughout the rest of the day.
Was it easier for you to play professionally than in college?
Yes. Most definitely. Most definitely. Because it wasn't required. Depending on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you have 4 classes. Or on Tuesdays and Thursdays, then you got practice, then you got study session, then you have, you gotta eat in between, then you got homework, you got 2 papers and 2 classes. It's like, yeah, it was a lot, way easier to manage as a professional than it was as a college student.
Southside's rooting for you.
Throughout the whole entire city of Chicago, I go everywhere, and the love is there. It's just like people like yesterday. I took my son to a game in the neighborhood where I grew up, but I haven't been there in probably 20, 30 years maybe. But go to the old gym where I used to play. I'm like, wow. So I'm having memories in my head. And then the crazy part, kids from my actual community where I grew up were there. They was like, oh, that's Bobby Simmons. So this, that. I talked to them. It's a good feeling because now I've supported, especially majority of the people that came from my neighborhood that wanted to play the game that we all love. I pour into them. I give back to the high schools. I give back to the community. And I just want to see everybody make it. I want to see everybody make it. And that's the reason why for my store success, that's the tagline, life is what you make it.
You're just a blessing. I can't say it enough, but the things that you do, the choices that you make to give back, it is supernatural. This is what it feels like. It's like you've been given this grace and this light, and you so generously give it. I mean, selflessly, without thought. And the people that do it without hesitation, that is your heart. It's so big, but your contributions to the community without thinking twice, because you know that that's what you were put on this earth for such a bigger purpose than putting on a jersey. We know that. And I think it helped you in many ways to be able to give.
I give scholarships to people I don't even know. So I have an endowment fund at DePaul. I started in 2005. It's 20 years I've been giving scholarships. So I help people who need help. It's just something that I've always wanted to do.
Nobody told you have to do that.
Think about it, since 2005, I was playing until 2012. So that was like 2 or 3 scholarships, maybe 4 scholarships a year. It's like, wow.
And your money stopped too. Let's just be very clear too. Your MBA checks stopped and you still give.
Exactly. Yeah, but I do it out the kindness of my heart. Like you said, I've been blessed. And I just try to pay it forward. And like you said, a lot of these kids have good upside. And if no one reaches back for them, then how would they be able to have an opportunity to experience things that I've experienced?
Bobby, thank you so much for being part of this. I remember you saying you haven't done a podcast before, and the topic is what got you to commit. And I just appreciate you so much for who you are and what you've given us today. If this episode inspired you, please share it with a fellow athlete or friend navigating their next chapter, because we're all just writing our playbooks as we go. We will see you in season 2 with full episodes coming in fall of 2026. I want to thank all the listeners so deeply for being part of this special podcast, my incredible producer, and of course, the amazing guests. Until next time, please remember the game ends, your story doesn't. Keep living life in full send.